Recently, today actually, I first heard Larry David eviscerate the former president, Donald Trump. He came on, he said, Trump is sick. He's a sociopath. He's a monster. We didn't say that, but I added that. But he said it very well, though, and it wasn't as, he is more succinct in the way he speaks than I am. But he said Donald Trump is sick for him to be playing this game all this whole time. He knows he didn't win. He said he just threw 200 years of democracy down the toilet for just because he's a baby. He's sick. He's a sociopath. And he just said it fine, because everyone around won't say it. They're all like, oh, you got to give him a chance. And you never had to give him a chance. Anyone that gave him a chance is not trustworthy anymore. They lied to us. They thought if we get enough people doing it, everyone will go along. But no one should have ever went along. Everyone who went along in the beginning is really stupid. But the worst one, even worse than Trump himself, is the former vice president, Mike Pence, who is a scumbag. If Trump is sick, Pence is a fucking scumbag because he knows what he's doing. He enabled this sick man and allowed it to go forward, by the way. It was Mike Pence who said, yeah, he should investigate it. He has every right to do it. Everyone who said that is a fucking scumbag who should be thrown out of society. They should be thrown out of the public because that's a fucking lie. And they threw away all the things we had before that. And they didn't care. And they knew what they were doing. And everyone knew it, too. So now it's all out in the open. Everyone knew it. So fuck them. Well, I say they should be held accountable for that. And the worst one is Mike Pence, who enabled this guy, pushed his agenda to bring on the theocratic state, and used Trump as the front man. And then we're led to believe that they were going to kill him. They said, hang Mike Pence, remember? The Capitol rioters, the Capitol insurgency, the group that went to the Capitol that day, which is a lot of individuals who don't have a lot of information. So they believe what they were told, which was that God was about to be put in power and the devil ripped God out from under us and said, nope, I'm going to put me in there. That's basically what they were told. That's not basically, that's exactly what they were told. And they believed it. And so they said they stormed the Capitol, but really they sort of skated into what could be said? They didn't really storm it. All right, I got stupid. All right. But Mike Pence has to be the worst. I mean, there's nothing more depraved than someone like Mike Pence. What a talk about sick. But he's scum. That's a little bit different. He's not sick. He has his own mind. He apparently has his own mind. He is not insane. He's the one who we're all led to believe was the one who stopped it, right? And then they said, we're going to kill you for it. And he said, oh, that's fine. I forgive you, right? And he even said, you know what? I still like Trump. I think Trump's a great man still after it's over, after all that over. So imagine if that happened. I mean, that'll tell you what a scumbag he is. He doesn't even have legitimate emotions. He is not authentic. That is not an authentic way to behave. I'm not going to put anyone in the position to imagine themselves in the position of Mike Pence. But if you did, there would be some level of you wanting to express something about how someone caused a mob to try to kill you. And if you don't do that, something else is there that we missed. Something is going on that we missed. So we missed it. And Mike Pence is a fucking scumbag. They should have said, someone should have said, yeah, you want to hang Mike Pence? That's on you. Go ahead. The opposition could have just said, yeah, we'll accept that. And that would be the only case where you could do that. Only because Mike Pence is a fucking scumbag. He enabled this thing. He allowed it to happen. He was foisted on his own petard. This whole thing happened because of him. He could, him and a couple of others, but if he had been the one to say no, he had just come out right away. He had nothing to lose. Trump's gone. Trump is burning. And he's said, no, but he's trying to prop him up and put out the fire to make sure he keeps him. Because bullshit, motherfucker. Mike Pence is a fucking scumbag. Welcome to the program. 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 You're listening to the Cruel and Unusual Sit-Down Podcast. Pew, pew. The proceeds from this week's broadcast of the Cruel and Unusual Sit-Down Podcast will be donated to benefit one of the following charitable causes. To benefit sharks by teaching them how to fish for themselves. For everyone who did not graduate because they owed fines. The Society Against Baseball. And now, please enjoy the following musical number. And remember, be sure to listen closely and don't be talking during the musical selection. I went house shopping. I like to go house shopping. I just get extra houses. I don't really need them. I like to go looking at houses and seeing if I could buy any. Just to get a few extra. I like to have several extra ones. First thing I do is I go in and I talk to the realtor. That's just the person that is going to do all the filing with the courts. Or I guess what they're going to do is make sure that it's recorded in some book somewhere so no one can say later on that never happened. Because that would suck if you bought a house and then the person said, I never sold that house. Wait, give me that back. And you'd just be there like, no, remember we had all that? And they said, where's the where's the documents? They would say, let me see the deeds. And you'd say, well, my realtor took care of it. And they said, well, so you got to pay that realtor a little extra, I guess. There's an incentive for them to screw you over. So if you pay them enough, then maybe they won't. That's the idea. So you pay them so they figure, well, I can make that money every time if I don't screw too many people over. You know, they can get away with a few, right? Well, that's actually how most people with wealth and land got their wealth and land. Yeah. But I guess then it's, you don't want to complain. That's how it is. Okay, so what I do is when I'm buying property, I always like to buy extra property because you never know when you're going to need it. I like to keep it into different names too. I like to have an assumed name for every property. That way I can keep them separate in case I need to. That might become important later. Got plenty of that. You don't want to be boondocking when you're on the run. Okay, the first thing I do when I'm looking for a property is I say, okay, does this house move? Can it go anywhere? And they're like, no, it's a stationary house. I'm like, yeah, okay, I get it. But does it have wheels? Did it ever have wheels? I like trailer homes. I mean, as long as their wheels are gone. But I say, where are the wheels? Give me the origin of the wheels. I want to know the chain of ownership of the wheels of this house. Depending on where I'm at, because you have to say it right. Otherwise, you have to say house right. House. We just say house. A house is just like it's a tree that they cut up a little certain way, and then you live inside. It's like an extra skin that's made of a tree, and it has variable walls called doors. So you could, these variable walls can either be in three situations. They could be open a little. Well, they can be in two. Okay, they can be open or closed. That's it. That's what I used to tell you all the time. Either go in or out, open or closed. It's pretty straightforward. Okay, then I say, okay, it's not on wheels, right? And they say, yeah, actually, no, this house never had wheels. That's when I go, okay, I like that. I say, well, that's a benefit. I say, you know what? That's a selling point. So this house never had wheels, right? It's always been here? And sometimes they'll say, yeah, that house never even moved once. It stayed here from the minute it was built. And I go, okay, well, then I'm taking that. That sounds more like I want. That's more like what I want. And then I say, now, is it small? Is it a small house? Or is it a tiny? And then I say, but make sure also that includes tiny home. They say, you mean tiny house? Yeah, tiny house. And they say, okay, you know what? That house, it's over 700 square feet of living space. I say, they say, yeah, that technically is not a tiny home. But I say, wait a minute, is it? So I got to make sure it's a stationary house and that it's not small. So then I say, okay, we can proceed. They say, yeah, both of those conditions are met. And I say, how well did they meet the qualifications? And they'll say, they barely made it. I say, well, you know what? Let's skip that one. But if they say, you know what? This beat the qualifications by a lot. This is way over all your qualifications. Not only did it never move, it's big. I say, wait, okay. So it's bigger? Okay. They say, yeah, but it's going to cost a little bit more. And I say, oh, but that's okay because it'll be worth more. They said, yeah, it's going to cost more. I said, yeah, but it'll be worth more. What am I going to do? Sell it and then buy another one? They say, yeah, your house went up. I say, yeah, but if I buy another house, I'm going to have to pay more for it too. They say, yeah, the price of your house went up. You got a really valuable house. Yeah, but if I sell it, then I have to go pay the same premium on another house. So I don't know what I gained, but if you want to pretend I did, that's fine. Yeah, the house prices went up. Yeah, your price. Oh, guess what? Your house is more valuable than ever today. It means you owe a little bit more taxes. But your house is more valuable every year. Look at this. You just pay a little more But remember, it's more valuable. Yeah, but if I sell it, then I have to go buy the same house, and it's going to cost. I'm going to lose on that deal because I'm going to have to pay those agents who have to make sure all the records are kept. Because you know why? Because of fraud. Because fraud goes on even under the system. So imagine if it wasn't a system, it would just be, they would just say, oh, I didn't sell you that house. What are you doing here? That's how it would be. You want anarchy, that's what anarchy is. You buy a house, and you say, okay, it's all done, right? They say, yeah, it's your house. And then a year later, they come back, and they're like, what are you doing at my house? And you say, no, this is not your house. Remember, I bought it. And then they say, that never happened. And here's the court. My judge says, you got to move. And they say, well, my judge says I get to stay. And they say, well, there's no dispute between my judge. It works. It's a workable system. But it's better to have the system where the agents have to be paid a little extra so they won't mostly do any fraud. So they'll have something to do. Right? We all want something to do. Hey, give me something to do. I want to apply for something to do. Okay, what what things do you know that will cause you to be able to do things? Well, I'm a human, so I know languages, and I know other people. I know how to interact with other people. I could look at them, and I could talk to them, and I could dress myself, and I could show up at places at times. Wait, you can show up at places at times? Yeah, I'll go to a place at a time. You tell me a time, I go to the place. You give me the place and the time, I'm there at the time and the place. Okay, that's a good feature. Yeah, I consider it one of my best features. It's what I do. I just need something to do. Okay, we have a thing for you to do. No. And then they bring out, they have to sign a lot of stuff that's weird. Never noticed a lot of extra stuff that's stuck in the back. He's never put on the front. A lot of disclosure. A lot of, what is it called? You're signing something that says, like, I wave something. You know, you don't even know what it is you're waving. Bye. Bye-bye. Whenever you sign those, you should say bye. Every time you wave something that you don't know what it is, just wave it. Okay. Bye-bye, right to go to court. Bye-bye, right to have a jury look over the case. Hello arbitration, which is controlled by the company. Hello mediation. Oh. Goodbye, right to speak out. Hello non-disclosure. Hello. Right. Goodbye, right to speak out. Hello, this non-disclosure. You should sign a non-disclosure, and that will help you later on. You could say, this non-disclosure I signed is not valid because I signed a non-disclosure. That means I cannot disclose the non-disclosure of the disclosure. So that means I can say anything I want about anything I've ever seen or done. Get over it, Chief. I should cut that out. That was not a good line. Get over it, Chief. Get over it, Chief. I got it. That was good. Okay. I'm done with that, right? I like a stationary house. I just like a stationary house with my stuff. I don't like to have too much stuff, but I like to have it all in one place. I know that's not always possible, and I also know that's not, there's risks. What would you say? It's there's drawbacks to having everything in one place. For one thing, you have to stay in that place. You have to keep going back there. Dang it. I got to go home again. Yeah. They're like, what, you have to go home again? Yeah, I got to go home and sleep tonight. Oh, okay. Well, I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, I guess so. Why don't you just stay out here? Well, I have that house. I have to go to it at night and make sure and guard it. Got to go home and guard my house in my bed. That's what a house is. Well, you have all your stuff, and if you have to carry all your stuff, well, then you lighten your load, I guess. You can do that. I mean, people are really good at that. Yeah, I've seen people really build out their vans and their vehicles, and they're able to live out in remote places. Seriously. Like, they're able to go to all the parks, and so they can enjoy the outdoors. Okay, so maybe it's temporary. And of course, if you can do it for a little while, you can do it a lot if you feel like it. But the drawback to doing that is that you always have all this stuff, and it seems like it's all the stuff failing. I suppose if you had a vehicle that would not fail and have a flat tire or, there's all kinds of, I don't want to go down the list of it, but they will. If you watch the Van Lifers, they'll tell you everything that goes wrong, and it's almost every episode. Most of the episodes are just like, well, we were going to send you the video, but my battery was dead, and the starter broke. And then we were in the wash, and the monsoon came. So you can just imagine. Yeah. So that's how it is, but it's great. I just think, for me, I just like to have all my stuff in one spot. That way I don't have to go to and fro with all my stuff. It's a little more efficient. The drawback is it's all your eggs are all in one basket. I mean, your eggs are always going to be in one basket, though. You don't want to have your eggs scattered around. This is not Easter. Maybe that's what Easter was all about. Teaching people not to put their eggs in one basket. So they said, just start putting eggs around everywhere. And they'll say, but people won't understand. They'll understand because of the context of eggs. You shouldn't be just sticking them anywhere. They're very fragile. This way, you put them everywhere and people will understand, hey, eggs should be dispersed. Now pay attention, everyone. This podcast is not about you, Charlie. Hey there, folks. Are you a big guy who might just be a wise guy? Well, have we got an opportunity for you? Introducing the Big Guy, Wise Guy Stripper Academy. That's right. We're breaking stereotypes and breaking hearts with our unique program. Now, you might think being big and wise is just for running the streets, but let me tell you, it's also for making bank in your spare time. We're talking about stripping, folks. Big guys, they're sexier than thin guys, and wise guys, well, they got that dangerous allure. Put them together and you've got a recipe for success. So if you're ready to take down your pants and take home some serious cash, sign up for our program today. Learn the art of the tease, the shimmy, and the shake from the best in the business. Big Guy, Wise Guy Stripper Academy, where the only thing bigger than your muscles is your paycheck. Pew, pew. This has been the Cruel and Unusual Sit-Down Podcast. Coming to you weekdays at 11. Hey YouTube, don't forget to hit the thumbs up and subscribe.